Nation's fine people. I'm Patti Alvarez. Welcome to The Good Soul, a show where we'll have supercharged chats with everyday humans from all walks of life and unpack what in their story will inspire us all. We'll extract the untapped wisdom, distill it, and serve it up to you in all the right ways that will engage, enlighten, and most of all, inspire growth within your soul. I think people are awesome. So join me on this journey through the hearts and minds of ordinary people to uncover the good soul within you. This is The Good Soul. Greetings, everybody. This is The Good Soul. Welcome. We are on episode 17. This is Rockstar Goddess Girl Part 2. Who's excited? Say aye. Yay! Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. To my left is the lovely, beautiful, and talented Lizette Totillo, and I'm so thrilled to have you back. So welcome.
Thank you, darling. It's so good to be back.
So great to have you back.
Congratulations on segment 17, part 2.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Hey! Did you ever see that Woody Woodpecker when they went down Niagara Falls? Hey! Anyway, Google that if you haven't seen that episode. It's a good one. Well, it's great to have you back. So this happens a lot, but really more than ever happened during our episode that when I'm done, the guest sits and they say, oh my God, that wasn't enough time. I need more. Yeah. And that's how it felt. So we are back and we're not going to really uncover anything new. We're just going to go a little bit deeper into the things that we talked about, which is, I think, everybody is really going to enjoy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So again, welcome back. We left off last week talking about your move to Croatia, but I want to rewind back to, again, mini Lizette.
Okay.
Let's talk Astoria, Queens. And for those who didn't see episode 1, tell me a little bit about your parents, your childhood. Let's start there.
Okay. So quick recap. I was born in Astoria, Queens, born in 1967 to Lucy and Benko, who met.
Still can't believe that.
I know, I'm 56. I know. Who met in a bowling alley in 1965. Okay. We lived in a 2-family house in an apartment, and that's where I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many floors?
It was 2 floors.
2 floors. So like a duplex?
And we lived upstairs, and there were 2 apartments on the first floor, and then we lived upstairs.
Oh, okay. So a 3-family house. Okay. So it was like a what I don't even know what that would be called, but 3 families. Okay. Yeah. And was it like there was a store right at the corner, or three apartments?
So there was the corner store, there was the pizzeria, Polito's Pizza, which I loved. You know, you'd get your pizza for probably less than $1 back then. There was the corner store where I'd get my bazooka gum all the time. Right down the block was MPB, Most Precious Blood, so I walked to school every day.
Okay. And you called it MPB? That was your grammar school?
That was right. That was the grammar school. Went to Cathedral High School, which was in Manhattan, which was affiliated with St. Patrick's Cathedral.
What an honor.
Ended up having a little debut there, having a solo.
I love that. Do you remember what song you sang?
It was the Ave Maria.
Ave Maria.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
It was the Ave Maria.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay. How did you get around? Did you have a bike? Did you use the subway? Did your parents have a car? What was that like?
So like growing up, I walked everywhere.
Okay.
And it was always, playing with friends out in the street. You came home when the, street lights turned on.
Yeah.
To get to school at Cathedral, I had to take a bus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woke up
into Manhattan.
Into Manhattan.
Okay.
Yep.
When I was in my late 20s, early 30s, my sister lived in Sunnyside, Queens.
Okay.
And we would go to a place called the Bohemian Beer Garden. Did you go there growing up at all? No. Uh-uh. It's a Czechoslovakian bar.
Okay.
And you walk into like this little itty bitty kind of bar, and through the bar, you go out to this huge courtyard, and there's probably 50 picnic tables. And at one table, there's an old couple playing Scrabble. At another table, there's hungover frat boys drinking bloodies. At another table, there's, hipsters reading the New York Times. And it still is one of my favorite places to go and like hang out. And they had food and stuff like that. So a lot of Greek restaurants.
Oh, that's
too.
where I was just going to go.
Yeah.
Astoria is was 90% Greek when I was there.
90%.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of delicious food. You can't. And that's something that I miss, I would say, probably from New York is the food.
The food.
Yeah. And being able to get it like at any time of the day.
Yeah, everything shuts down pretty early here, but I will say they definitely know food in the South. I am never lacking for a restaurant to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Different in Manhattan for sure, but
yeah.
I mean, it definitely wets my whistle down here. I'm good with, there's a lot of good food down here too. Little bit of a rewind. How did your parents end up coming to the U.S.?
So my father actually ended up escaping.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was there political unrest at the time?
He was in the army.
Okay.
And he ended up getting here and kind of like went through countries and ended up
Why did he want to
caught
escape?
Because he just wanted a better life. He wanted a better life and be able to provide for his parents and his brothers and sisters because he was one of 7.
Okay. The irony, you're going back there for a better life. We'll get back to that, but kind of funny, right?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Okay. And
then my mom, she came here and lived with her friend Betty. And I remember you were saying, like, that's a very American name, but she was also Puerto Rican.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Did she change her name to Betty or was she?
No, she was always Betty.
She was always, like, did you ever go get your nails done and the lady who doesn't speak very good English, you're like, she's like from Vietnam and you're like, what's your name? And she's like, Jenny. And I'm like, she's like, but my real name is. Yeah, I know. And they say it so happy. Jenny.
Everybody has a Jenny.
I know. But then she'll say, but my real name is, right?
Exactly.
So, okay. And does your mother have any siblings?
My mother was one of 9.
Oh, wow. Are any of her siblings?
5 boys. Yeah. 5 boys, 4 girls. And she has 1 sister that is currently alive.
Oh, 1 sister.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I told you.
She had a twin. She
did?
My mom was
her whole life? Or?
My mom was a twin. She had a twin sister.
And her twin sister lived, like, it wasn't like
she passed away, I want to say in like 2013.
Did any of her siblings come to the U.S. or were they all in Puerto Rico?
Most of them were in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Like the boys were.
Do you have cousins and family members that you're still in touch with?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of them.
I love when you said in the last episode how your mother was such a lady. And so quiet. So I know you here, and you and I have this very explosive dynamic. So we see each other, we hug, and I like wrap my leg around, and we wrap our legs. Yeah, and I know you on the podium, and I know you on stage. But I was really intrigued by seeing you at a party at your house, and you were very reserved. You were very ladylike. And I when I was listening back to the episode yesterday, it made me think when you said your mother was a lady, I said, she's just like her mother in a social setting.
She was my greatest teacher.
She was.
Growing up, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just about making yourself known just enough.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you're there. I'd rather they feel my presence in the food that they're eating or the drinks that they're drinking or when they walk into my home.
Yeah.
So I don't really need to be seen too much.
That just gave me butterflies.
Oh.
Yeah, that was really good.
Thank you.
Says the girl who rocks thousands of people's worlds.
Well, and I think that's why. I think that's why, you know, like I get everything I need. My battery gets recharged when I'm home.
Yeah.
Being down, right. When it's downtime. And then when I'm up on stage and rocking it out and getting that like energy from people, giving my energy and then receiving that in return.
Perfect time to hit pause because believe it or not, our 9 minutes already up. So guys,
so fast.
Get excited because coming up in our next segment, we are talking Lizette and love. So everybody, don't go away. We will be back in just a few on The Good Soul. Hey guys, welcome back. The Good Soul, episode 17, Rockstar Goddess Girl, part 2. So let's dive right into things. We're talking Lizette and love. I just want to tell you a quick story. And I forgot to tell you last segment that when Manny and I met, I was kind of like your mother. I was home. I was chilling. I was doing what I was doing. And my sister was like, you are coming out. And I was like, no, I want to stay home. I want to do yoga. I want to eat tofu. And I say it all the time. Oh, thank you. Good for you. You said good for you. Okay. So I thought of that last week and I didn't get to say that like, I love that common thread. And like every once in a while, I always sit up and go like, what if I didn't go to that party? Oh my God. And like, what if your mom didn't go bowling? We wouldn't be sitting here right now. We wouldn't be
sitting here.
Yeah. It's so freaky,
so much
isn't it?
Happened.
Oh my God. It's like that whole like,
I know.
Strike. That's funny. That's funny.
Well said.
Oh Lord. Okay. So, let's talk romance because here's another story. And you're the one being interviewed, but I want to lead in with this.
Okay.
One of my favorite lines that you've ever said to me, and it really affected me, it really had a profound impact on me, is, at one point, I think it was maybe around the time that you and Colin were breaking up, or I don't know what it was, but I was like, Lizette, like, is there a line out the door? Like, how many men would do anything for a woman like you? And you looked at me and you said, Patti, men don't hit on me. Mm-hmm. So Manny had his theory. So Manny, can you say what it was? Beautiful.
And the talent she has.
Talent, empowered.
Strong feeling. Thank you.
Confident.
It's just it's so crazy.
Can you explain it?
I wish I could explain it because, so many people come to see me. And it's interesting because I have like a huge female contingency that, has hit on
females
me
like you too. Hey.
But,
well, wait, can I just say this? My mother used to say, don't get upset when people hit on you. Right. Get upset when they stop hitting on you.
Stop.
Yes,
I know.
I'm sorry. Continue.
I know. That was like when I used to tell my mom, my legs are so skinny. They're super skinny. She's like, what do you want? What do you want? Like cankles?
Yeah, no, I
like big
I love your leggies.
Like, I know my leggies.
Yeah. Anyway. We never want what we have.
Anyway, exactly. I know.
So is it always that way?
I don't know what it is. And it's kind of been like, I think it's just been my entire life. Like I noticed that like from in performing. Yes, there are people that are cheering but no, I don't have people that like approach me at shows.
Yeah. I do like
I mean, obviously if they're like falling over drunk, that's like, okay, good, that's great. Yeah.
Well, every once in a while when I'm watching you guys play, I'll see like there's this one big muscular guy that's always up front. He's probably a friend. I feel like he's been at parties at your house too. But I guess he has his wife next to him. But I don't know who it is, and it might just be a random fan.
Yeah.
But it's funny for me, like people get inferiority complexes, and you see these men like woo, like worshiping you, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd be cool with Manny doing that.
I don't think that I think it might be because they don't know me. Like, do I come across as like untouchable, like unreachable?
A little bit.
Really? Maybe if I'm
Manny,
up on
you can
stage.
answer that.
Like you answer that.
I know. Manny's like, I'm not getting in any trouble here. Let's not make this awkward.
You want me to touch what?
Oh no, you want to touch what? No. No, but I think it is really. Was it always that way? Like when you were a kid?
Yeah, it's always been that way.
Did you?
And I don't. Maybe it's just because of the way like I carry myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but.
Did you have a high school sweetheart or like a love of your life when you were a kid?
Not really when I was a kid, but in my 20s I did.
You did?
Like before I met Matt.
Pre-Matt. How old were you when you met Matt, by the way?
It was 97. So actually, I think I said 27, but it was probably closer to 30, 29, 30.
Okay.
When I met him. Yeah.
I don't know how much you want to get into this, but I do like the story about how when you and Colin met. I remember you had met earlier. You had kind of known each other.
Yeah, we had known each other for years.
Certain.
He and his related wife at the time. She was we would get together. I mean, we didn't get together a lot.
Yeah.
Once or twice we were invited. Matt and I were invited on the boat, and we would go out, and it was nice.
Yeah.
And we got together, and
right.
Yeah.
So as every single person knows, it's a very small community here in Lake Norman. Yeah. I have a handful
and everybody knows everything.
Yeah. Well, I have a handful of single friends, and I always laugh. There's even like a Facebook page. Isn't it like, did you date this guy, or are you dating this guy, or something like that?
Yeah,
like
there absolutely is. Yeah.
It's
I've seen it. I've seen them.
There's a page for everything, and boys, don't screw up. You're going to end up on that page, wanting dead or alive.
It's crazy what these like women write about these men, and kind of crazy what some of the men are doing out there.
I know, but I don't know if I would get involved with anything like that. It's kind of like, to me, like looking under the hood. There's certain things I don't want to know. Like if I have access to like my husband's diary, let's say, not that Manny has a diary, but
Manny, you
like
have a diary?
Dear journal, I wish we could use a journal. You got to let some of that, go. You need to vent. But I don't know that that's natural.
That's definitely not for me. I think
me neither.
I had a moment where I was like, oh, I think I'm going to create a profile on this site. And I created a profile.
Online dating?
Oh, yeah. Could
you imagine a guy that found you?
Well, hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I created it, and within minutes, I was like, delete.
What is it? Swipe left, swipe left? I don't know.
Oh, God, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was
they don't care.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
And like
letters. You're not face to face with
somebody. No. Like,
yeah.
I just can't. It's not me. It's just not me.
I'd
rather meet somebody maybe in the airport on my travels.
Yeah. A quick trip. I went on Match once. It was a few years before Manny and I met once for about 10 minutes. It's like free and easy for women.
Yeah.
And I just remember like the motliest, like townie. It was like the first guy I saw. I was like, ugh, click off. Like just, who hits on everybody, that guy.
Match you up with people that in my head I go, I mean, what? Where are you seeing the match?
Yeah. Well, we have a friend, somebody we both know, who actually paid an exorbitant amount of money to hire a kind of like a dating representative. Yeah. She ended up meeting somebody not through her, but I would do that. I would totally do that to like screen people to make sure they're not shady or money grubbing.
That's something I would rather do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I did when I met Colin. I totally did like a little background check on him.
You did vetting?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Did you meet him through that, or did you meet him?
She PI'd him.
No, I PI'd him. I ran a little, background check on him.
Who would you meet him?
They met in town. They met on the lake
like years ago.
I have a friend. We both, you know her too. She doesn't live here, but we went to see her in her home state, and she met somebody new, and she's dating him, and he's a lawyer, and the person that he was married to, his ex-wife, is a lawyer, and the ex-wife wants the background check, or she's got nothing to hide, but we're like cracking. What a world, like credit checks. But I guess it's an indicator of character. All right. We are getting way off track here. I do like, I like the way you and Colin met the first night. I think that you realized, I think you were at a show.
It was New Year's Eve. Yeah, it was New Year's Eve of 2015. And, it was really sweet because he would always kind of like reach out every now and then and say like, hey, do you want to, come to this party? Right. And I would never go.
Yes.
I never
And to be
went.
clear, because you said he now has this, God rest her soul, has since passed his ex-wife.
Correct.
At this point, he's single.
He was
completely single.
Yes.
So
she
had
moved out.
She had moved out. Yes.
They were,
I just want to make that very clear. Okay, good. Okay, good.
But she wasn't well.
Yeah.
She was in remission for a while, and then things came back, and there were just some like stories, some things that were being said that were untrue, and I think that really weighed on me for a very long time because I wasn't that person that people were making me out to be. Mm-hmm. Like I just don't have it in me.
Sure.
I don't have it in me.
Well,
and
you know that about yourself.
yeah.
The people that matter know that about you.
Well, this is true. This is true. But then again, I think maybe being a little bit of like a
local,
I'll say, figure,
local
like,
celebrity, sure.
Yeah, like, you become a target. And I think it's easy for people to just kind of throw darts at this target.
Sure.
And it's okay. Like, I think over the years, I've kind of figured out how to, I've just kind of my skin's toughened a little bit, but not my heart.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah. And my father always says, and it's, he didn't make it up, but the truth will always come out. And
it always does.
Yeah. The truth always bubbles up and comes out.
It always does.
Absolutely. Yeah. I did like the first kiss story about you and Colin. I thought that was cute. You were like on a kitchen counter or something. It was like a smackaroo. It makes my heart flutter.
We went to his house, and I actually had my boss and a friend with me, and I was hungry, and I asked him, I said, "Do you have anything you can make?"
I'm hungry.
Yeah, so he made manigot. He's
Italian. He's half Italian.
He baked it, and then kind of sat me up on the island, and then said, "Hey, come here, I want to show you something."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Okay," and took me into the foyer, and then just kind of like laid one on me. And every time he would tell the story, it would be like, I didn't know if you were going to hit me, if you were going to slap me. Or
Were you expecting the kiss?
No,
you weren't.
I didn't.
Okay. Listen, I need a break, guys. I need to cool off a little bit. It's getting a little hot in here. So listen, stay right there, because next segment we're going to talk life behind the scenes with Blue Monday and so much more. So we'll catch you on the flip side with the Good Soul. Hey friends, welcome back to the Good Soul, segment 3, episode 17, Rockstar Goddess Girl, part 2. So we were just talking about the smackaroo. I love that kid story for some reason. The kitchen counter, the manigot.
It was a smackaroo.
The whole thing. It was great.
Yeah. It was one of the good moments.
It was one. I'm sure there were many good moments. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for any eligible bachelor who's got to go through me first, but I'm only kidding. Anybody,
I wouldn't mind that actually. That they go through you.
Yeah, well, I'll vet them.
The screening. Yeah.
Brad Pitt. Who else? Who else could? Benicio del Toro.
Yeah. Just yeah. Okay. Make the list.
Yeah, we got high standards here, so. You just have to be willing to relocate to Croatia on July 9th. That's the only stipulation.
One-way ticket. It's a one-way ticket.
Well, look, think about Under the Tuscan Sun and when she got there.
I know.
Right?
I can't tell you how many times I've watched that. And then recently, I just watched a movie called Far Away.
Okay.
And it takes place in Croatia.
You
have to watch it.
Okay.
You have to watch it, because this woman ends up then meeting this man in Croatia.
A Croatian man?
Yes. And
what are Croatian men like?
Croatian men are very tall.
Okay.
They love to cook.
Okay.
They're very I mean, I think of like my father and my uncle. Like my uncle now, he's very kind, he's very sweet, he's very giving. They love music. They love to entertain people, have people in the home.
Okay.
They like the quiet time as well,
Okay,
and then with a woman, they will make a woman feel special.
Okay, so
yeah.
I think of a Frenchman. I think of an Italian man. I think of an what do they look like, feel like, smell like? Like dress like?
Okay, so tall, dark hair,
fair skin, light skin, dark skin.
Well, a lot of them, I mean, it's the Mediterranean, so they're all very tanned. They're not very light skinned.
Okay.
A lot of light eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Manny loves light eyes.
Yeah, light eyes. Very, very manly looking.
Okay.
So
our single friends who plan on going to visit Lizette.
Exactly.
Now you can kind of create the visual for yourself.
We'll just tell them to take a number at the door.
Okay, yeah. And I will be there to vet if need be. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Blue Monday, because there's so many interesting things about being able to get up on stage and be a singer, as I've said to you before, and my husband agrees, what we wouldn't give to get up there and do that. So we talk about like we get to a show, we know 80s, 90s, but what's the goal beyond how I want to make people feel? What do you want people to describe the performance as? What's the goal of the show?
I want them to walk away having an experience.
Okay.
It needs to be an experience that is memorable, that brings them back to a time that they remember. So, because the 80s was a time when the music spoke to them. You know, the music spoke to you.
He said good description.
You can remember who you were with, what you were doing, where you are, or where you were at that time.
Where my hair was?
Yeah, where your hair was with the Aquanet. And it's just, you know, to be able to see people really kind of nestle into those memories and create new ones with, and in this time, listening to those songs. It's pretty cool.
It reminds me what you're saying of when I say to the girls, if any of them is having problems with their boyfriend or I always say, picture your boyfriend sitting in a bar talking to his buddies and describing you. And how do you want him to describe you? Be that. And it has nothing to do with pleasing him, but how do you want to be? So that was a great, like in the context of the band.
Yeah.
You just did that for me. You really just like, good. And you're doing that, FYI, had you not already known. You're doing that. You're doing all of that and more. How do you pick the songs?
So ironically, we hardly ever pick songs that are common or that, let's say, other bands are doing. We pick songs that are different, that may even be a B song, that may be a bit more musically challenging, but it has to resonate with us, and we have to be able to do it well, because if we can do it well, we're going to deliver it well, and then it will be received well.
Have you ever picked a dud?
Yeah.
Can you think of one that made it past rehearsal onto stage where you were like, oh, never again?
Yeah, well, ironically, a song like Invincible by Patti Manny.
Well, that's hard though. That's high.
Huge, but great song.
Yeah.
Right? But it just kind of falls flat. And maybe it's about placement, but we've tried to figure that out. And that just didn't work. And I think it's just one of those songs that it just kind of falls flat.
You feel it right from the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah. It's from the first note.
Okay, and listen,
chord,
I don't want to hear 1,200 drunk women trying to sing that song, right? If you don't know the song "Invincible" by Pat Benatar, look it up, because that must be really like, whoa.
Yeah.
How do you know when you're going to go like that to the crowd and let them sing? Is that planned or is that impulsive?
It's just natural. It's just natural.
Okay.
You know, it's something that I feel.
Right.
A lot of times I like to just kind of like look at certain people and smile or wink.
Do you sometimes connect?
I like to draw people in. I don't like it when there's like space of 5 feet or 10 feet or 20 feet between me and the first row of people.
Yeah.
So my mission within the first few songs is to get those people to close that gap.
Yeah. Well, there's always that first person out on the dance floor, right?
Yeah.
I always think of Madonna during the Confessions tour. There's a behind the scenes documentary, and she's like, why did you put all industry people in the front row? They're all sitting at me, staring at me like I'm bored. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you pick a person or a few people? Do you connect with, like, I know my coach, my acting or podcast coach says, put your ideal listener next to the camera, which I haven't done yet. It's my parents next to the camera. But do you pick people that you're
No,
you don't?
No, I really go off the energy of the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is a big deal for me.
Tethered to what we were just talking about, have you ever gotten a crush on a guy? Have you been like, ooh, he's really cute? Yeah. Like, can I meet him back? Not like to be naughty, but like, you know, sometimes the hot girl gets picked by like, you know, Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. Like, they asked me to go backstage.
Not done that.
You haven't done that.
No,
maybe
I
you
haven't
should
done that,
before
but maybe
you go.
I need to. Maybe I need to.
I'll stand outside
there's
stage
still-
and be like, he looks good. He looks good.
I have a good 100 shows left in me, so the possibility.
What do you do when you're having a bad day and you got to get up there and do that?
It's like a switch. I shower, get dressed, pick my outfit, and it's all based on how I feel.
Okay.
In that moment.
Uh-huh.
And usually get dressed in the green room at the show.
Okay.
And I could still probably be having a bad day. But when it's time to get on that stage and put on a show, it's a switch.
Game face.
It's a switch. It's,
Have you ever had to walk off? I'm sad.
No.
I'm choking. I swallowed wrong.
I have coughed and I'm, having my moment and maybe somebody else will have to like jump in. But no, I've never. Yes.
Or like,
they are.
We got to go to the bathroom. Like now.
Yeah, no, you're not.
It just doesn't happen.
It's not happening.
Yeah. Well, we teach 90 minutes of Bikram and I've gotten like a frog in my throat. Like, can't talk, but somehow you power through.
Yeah. No, we've powered through.
And what do you do when fans, like, I remember you telling me once sometimes they'll like grab your ankles. Is that regular?
They used to get a little handsy.
People don't do that. Just don't. Just don't do that.
They would get handsy.
Yeah.
But I know the limit. I have a limit.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as that limit is, as long as you haven't reached that limit, you're fine. Once you reach the limit, then I will either say something to you or, give you a little warning.
In the words of my late great mom, don't get upset when they get handsy. Get upset when they stop getting handsy. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this segment.
Smart.
We will see you in 3 shakes of a lamb's tail. Don't go away. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Good Soul, episode 17, Rockstar Goddess Girl. I'm here with one of my favorite people on the planet, Lizette Totillo.
Thank you, doll.
I don't want this to come to an end.
I know. Maybe we do part 3?
I know. Let's do part. Well, listen, I have to go see Tom Sandoval tonight.
Oh, I know.
Thank you. Lizette got
welcome.
me on the list to see Tom Sandoval and Most Extras from Vanderpump Rules. So I'm really excited.
I'm excited for you. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and and Manny mysteriously isn't feeling well, but and we're going to meet. We did meet and greet too. So
That's
I'm excited.
awesome.
So at any rate, so we left off talking about Blue Monday.
Yeah.
So with all these people and for the people who get to come see you on the regular, what's it like to be you? A day in the life of Lizette. Let's talk about like what your every day is like.
Every day could be different, so my day usually starts around 6 a.m.
Alarm? No alarm?
Alarm.
Okay.
Yes, but I usually wake up before it and then I end up hitting it a couple of times.
I never do that. My husband, sorry.
Shower, get dressed, sit in front of my computer, and work until about 4.
Okay. Are you stimulated sitting at your computer working from home?
No, I'm not.
And what are you actually doing without getting into crazy detail?
I am. So we are detecting fraud. We get these escalations sent to us, and then we have to open SAR reports, a suspicious activity report.
Okay, so
based on the activity, whether it's a fraudulent check, whether someone took over an account, if maybe there was a remote access, some sort of email or phone compromise.
Okay.
So all of that stuff.
Is it usually like Granny? It's like old people, like Granny Clampett has 500.
All old people. You have, people that are born in their 90s that are having their accounts compromised or they're committing the fraud.
Right. And you'll see like it'll be suspicious activity like this person had $750K in their account for the past 30 years and all of a sudden
they're
now,
talking to
boom,
somebody,
boom, boom.
they're talking to someone from, South Africa or Korea and then they have, they're just giving them $100K for the last 4 months every month. And when you talk to them, they really don't know why. they're giving it to them and they can't really remember who the person is. Now you have someone who's older. And so someone's trying to financially exploit them.
It's kind of like the Tinder swindler almost. So usually is it
yeah,
romance?
Yeah,
They tug on their heartstrings?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I mean, it served its purpose. It served its purpose, and that's coming to an end, actually. I just kind of gave my 2 weeks notice, so I end in 2 weeks.
Sad for them.
But yeah, but I'm going to miss them. They were a great team. And so, my day with my kids home, if I have one or both of them home, if they come and visit, we end up cooking. The house always has music. We're always singing. We're dancing. We get to eat together, and maybe I come here, take a class. I like to listen to audiobooks before I go to bed.
Okay.
I'm a big audiobook
Do you have a TV in your room?
No. I don't.
Yeah.
My last relationship had a TV in the room.
So do we.
I didn't
wake up
want it, but I didn't want it. Like I didn't. I don't like having a TV in my room.
Yeah.
I like to be in my living room. I want to watch TV. Maybe I'll fall asleep on the sofa, but I want to get up and be in my room with no other stimulation.
I admire people who don't have TVs. And before Manny and I got together, I didn't have, obviously in my former marriage we did, because I just think that's what men like. But then when Molly and I were alone for the 10 years, I didn't even have a TV at all. I had to buy a TV when you came to Seabright. But I know we've really been, we've been watching some great TV where we bond, we connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been
I don't even have cable.
No.
Like I'll just
you
do like
just have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we are wasting $200 a month. We have to call Spectrum. We keep forgetting to do it. Yeah, we're using like the Fire Stick. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wine, no wine.
Wine
at night?
Depends.
Wine. Not every night?
No. I'm more of a champagne girl.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. What do you think life is going to look like in Croatia for you? Incredible. What are you envisioning?
I envision. That brings such a smile to my face.
I know. I just got
I talked to my uncle Bruno, who was my father's brother, who lives there, and we laugh from the moment we get on the phone to the moment that we hang up, and it is just so lighthearted and full of happiness and positivity and talking about cooking and talking about, the potatoes that he planted behind my house and the wine that he made that's in the barrel in my cellar. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be really, really exciting. I did some work on the house, so on the outside. So sure. I'm going to spend a little bit of time just kind of making it my own on the inside. And while it's fully furnished, it's mostly my dad's style right now, which is not my style. And so I'm going to,
right?
So my uncle was like, Lizette, just take your time, go room by room,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start.
Oh my God, I wish
bedroom.
I could come and help you. That all
I know, but I'm going to have the
fun.
kids with me. I'm going to have Kira with me. And Evan's not going to be able to come.
That's right. Is Grace coming too?
Grace is coming too.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does it look like to move to Europe? Do you rent a container? Like how are
I
you
was going to get a container until I got this quote of like $8,000, $10,000 to just like move my bed, a dining room table, and a few other pieces. And I was like, oh, hell no. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how in a very short time I've become very detached from things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm literally, my move is 3 large suitcases. If it doesn't fit, it's not coming with me.
Wow. No, even like UPS or anything like that.
I'm going to get a storage unit and I'm going to put some things there that I know my kids want. Like when Kira decides to get a house, when Evan decides to get an apartment.
Sure.
I want them to kind of have certain meaningful pieces and, not have to really go out and buy those things. So that I will do. And maybe a couple of pieces of art that I have at home that I'm going to have Kira send me.
Okay. Don't make fun of me, but is there like a Walmart there? Can you get Amazon?
I can get Amazon.
Okay.
So there's a European Amazon.
Alibaba?
No, I don't know what it's called.
You never heard of Alibaba? You heard of Alibaba? Yeah. I don't know if it's European, though. It might be Asian.
Alibaba reminds me of a little like jewelry store on Steinway Street in Astoria. Yeah.
It's also part of a Beastie Boys song.
True,
Alibaba and the 40 Thieves.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry. And I digress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what about, okay, here's a good one. When I was in my late 20s, my sister took me to a Croatian supper club in Brooklyn. Oh, all I remember is the potato. And there were like dumplings and brown gravy. Oh my God, my mouth is watering so bad right now.
It's so good.
Yeah, the food. I love Eastern European food. Do you consider it Eastern European?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to get there. And like I have this separate building that has this stove. It's like it looks like a pizza oven. No. And you make your fire in it. And then it has this like clay pot that you will put over this, where whatever you put your food in, and then you cover it and you put coal on the top of that clay pot, and you just let it sit there for about 40 minutes.
Oh my God.
And then you lift
fish, right? Fish?
You can do it with anything. You can do it with anything.
I think Zac Efron on Down to Earth on Netflix did it with fish.
It is just so delicious.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do that. So I have a third floor that I'm seriously considering like Airbnb.
You should. It's revenue.
Maybe making it like a little bed and breakfast and and maybe offering an authentic Croatian meal.
I love it.
Maybe doing some yoga outside.
Yeah. Is the town walkable? Like, can you walk to like a cafe?
Oh yeah, there's actually it's called Cafe Santorini, which is actually an island in Greece.
Sure.
But it's Cafe Santorini, and it's on the beach.
Okay.
And they have the beautiful blue umbrellas, and it's all sandy, and it's a nice wide open cafe where
I can't wait to get there.
Yeah.
Well, it's called the Sea. What sea is it?
The Adriatic Sea. The Adriatic Sea.
Okay, so Lizette, we have just under 2 minutes left. Yeah. Goddess girl.
Yeah.
Force beyond measure.
Thank you.
To all the empowered women or aspiring empowered women and men.
Yeah.
There you go.
What are some tips and life advice that you want to leave us with?
Live your life truthfully, authentically, unapologetically. Be unapologetically you. Listen to your gut. Spend time with your parents. Give your children the chance to make a mistake. Don't helicopter them. And don't let anyone steal your peace.
Right here.
Right on.
Don't let anybody steal. In the words of Boss, right?
In the words of Boss.
In the words of Boss. Lizette, you mentioned giving her 2 weeks notice to your job.
Yeah.
You never gave me 2 weeks notice, so I don't think you can go. I think you got it.
Oh, no.
No. There is going to be a hole in this place, in the schedule, in this town. You will be missed. However, as your party invitation said, this is not goodbye.
No.
It's so long. And you will be back.
And I will be back. And the band will continue. And Heather will continue to take it further. She will, become an amazing front person. And I look forward to being back and having my cameo appearance.
Well, and I'd like for you to be back on the podium too when you come
will.
back. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Absolutely.
Lizette, thank you so much. I love you so much. Truly.
My whole heart.
My sister. Agree. Guys, catch up with us on all your major platforms. We're going to be live starting next week. I believe it's Tuesday. I can't remember the time, so just check the WSIC website. We love you. Thank you for being here. See you next time on The Good Soul.